Buckle up and hang on tight. The high banks of Limaland Motor Speedway are about to explode with more open-wheel dirt track thunder, featuring the second national Sprint Bandit Showdown. Hi everybody, I'm Don Radeball. Welcome aboard. Well, we've talked the talk. Now it's time to walk the walk here at the second national Sprint Bandit Showdown, featuring 3 nights of consecutive outlaw Sprint Bandit thunder with over $35,000 up for grabs. Here at the first leg at Limaland Motor Speedway, $2,000 to win, $200 just to start. We'll turn up the wick even more because Bobby Clark of Fremont, Ohio has gunned down our point leader, Lima, Ohio's Tim Allison. He is just 15 points from the leader for the $20,000 Sprint Bandit Point Fund Championship. Picking up the pace off turn 4. 1 lap signal from the stand. Mark Long and Bobby Clark in row 1. This, the first leg of the second national Sprint Bandit Showdown. Paul Weaver and Greg Wilson in row 2. John Hawk and John Beakey, the quick timer from row 3. Travis Miller, Kyle Sauter, Daryl Doherty, Mike Albright, Tim Kern, and Greg Litton round out the top 12 front runners for now. But it's about to change. Off turn 4, the second national Sprint Bandit Showdown is on. And Bobby Clark leads the way through 1 and 2 off turn 2 with Greg Wilson, Mark Long, and Weaver in tow. Off turn 4, Bobby Clark already up front and running away from Greg Wilson. Bobby Clark, who transferred to this main event through an earlier B main you saw here earlier on, leading the way off turn 4. Running second, the 2W. Yeah, that's the kid, Greg Wilson, running right up against the steel retaining wall. Wilson running second in the 2W. We'll take you back further. Running third, the 3X of Paul Weaver, who himself has won 3 Outlaw Sprint Bandit shows in 1995, 2 at Millstream and 1 at Fremont, still looking for win number 1 here on the high banks of Limaland. Good shot of Mark Long, the rookie, car number 35, who won an earlier B main to get here, working it hard. Off turn 2, Mark Long running 4th in the 35 car. Back up front. That's the difference between your front runners. The leader, Bobby Clark, making that off turn 4. And I think Wilson in the 2W may be reeling him in a bit. In fact, great race there. And I'll tell you what, the leaders, if we stay green, they'll be in traffic soon, so this should get very interesting. We'll follow the leaders in 1 and 2. Clark way up on the cushion. Bobby Clark has won 9 Bandit Features in 95, looking for number 10 tonight. And I'll tell you what, they are approaching traffic. Clark beginning to approach traffic, most of which is tucked down on the bottom. That will help our front runners, that being Clark and Wilson, who have elected to run the high side against the cushion. And Wilson is indeed gunning down our leader. Oh boy, and isn't this interesting? Bobby Clark leading the way. Former crew chief John Sauber has left the Clark Oil car number 8 team for who? That guy running second, Greg Wilson. Maybe that's part of the difference here tonight. Our front runners are stacked nose to tail in traffic. Wilson looks inside of Clark in 1 and 2, nothing there. Nothing there. Back in 3 and 4, Clark up on the high side, off turn 4. Back in 1 and 2, Wilson follows the tire tracks of Bobby Clark around the lap traffic of Nagy, and now Jeff Williams. Good racing here. Off turn 4, leader stacked nose to tail still. Back in 1 and 2, Clark and Wilson, bumper to bumper, off turn 2. Still green to green. I'll tell you what, no caution so far. Knock on wood. What a race up front. Wilson
all over Bobby Clark, but the preferred line seems to be the very line that Clark runs against the cushion off turn 4. If he's going to get Clark, he might have to slide job him to get it done. We'll find out here shortly. Bobby Clark continues to show the way. And here comes Paul Weaver. I forgot all about him, but Paul Weaver, who is running third, has gunned down now Greg Wilson, or at least coming anyway. I'll tell you, he is coming. That's him there, who just put a lap on Jeff Williams. Paul Weaver in the 3X car is coming in a hurry and beginning to reel in our leaders. Could have a 3-car showdown here momentarily. Good shot of Paul Weaver, working hard off turn 2. Back up front, there's the difference. It ain't much. Clark still shows the way with Wilson in tow, but Wilson is high on the cushion, but gets a good run off turn 2. Clark will go to the bottom end of Johnston, trying to get by him. Slides up in front of Wilson now. He is there. Check it. Wilson will now go down on the bottom and try to slide jab Clark. It won't happen there. Wow, what a race up front. This, the second National Sprint Bandit Showdown, living up to the credits tonight. Great racing up front. Bobby Clark, Greg Wilson, and Paul Weaver, 1, 2, 3 on the speedway, dancing, thrusting their way through traffic with laps winding down. Bobby Clark, Greg Wilson still stacked up nose to tail. And more traffic ahead in 3 and 4 off turn 4. What a season it has become for Bobby Clark in car number 8, who has won 3 of the last 4 Sprint Bandit shows. He may make it 4 out of 5 tonight. Those are pretty good numbers for the Fremont pilot and the Clark Oil Kier Speed Shop Gambler. Bobby Clark continues to lead, smoking that right rear tire. Oh, and he may have touched the wall briefly there entering turn 3. Don't think it'll upset the handle, but he did appear to hit the wall just briefly. Doesn't seem to bother the handle though. Clark still leads Wilson. We are winding down here. Great racing up front still. Wow, check it, in traffic. Wilson looks inside of Clark. No, sir, not that time by. Wow, what a move, though. Tried the slide job maneuver. It didn't work. Litton held him up on the bottom edge. A lap car number 12. And I'll tell you what, it may have cost Wilson about 3 or 4 car lengths on the racetrack. He'll have to work hard to get it back with laps winding down. Check the action off turn 4. Wilson got dangerously close to that. Oh, and there's trouble. There's trouble in 3 and 4. Caution on the speedway. The 05 of Jimmy Johnston in trouble with Jeff Williams. Caution on the speedway. A 3-lap dash for all the tall trophies and all the cash. Bobby Clark, Greg Wilson, Paul Weaver, and a great run tonight from Mark Long, the top 4 with John Hawk in tow. Back in 1, Clark gets a good run on Greg Wilson and carries Wilson back to 3 and 4 by 7, 8 car lengths off turn 4. 2 to go. 2 to go for Bobby Clark. Clark continues to lead. Following the Clark Oil Company Kier's colors off turn 4. White flag and trouble. We've got trouble in turn 2. We've got it one upside down. Right in front of the leaders. It is Kyle Sauter on his side in turn 2. We are under caution. Kyle Sauter is okay, glad to report. Back to green flag racing. Wilson will have 1 lap to get it done off turn 4. Back in 1 and 2, Clark by 5 car lengths over Wilson. Gonna have to hurry. Wilson gets a good run off turn 2 and follows Clark closely. In 3 and 4, off turn 4, your front runners, as they have been the whole distance. Bobby Clark takes the first leg of the no, make that. We've got 2 to go. Yeah, we're under white now. We've taken the white flag now. I thought there was just 1 to go. There were 2. We'll do it now. Checkers flag for Bobby Clark. Greg Wilson, second. Running third, Paul Weaver. fourth is John Hawk fifth. Tim Allison, Tim Kern rounding out the top 6.